Hi guys, Gett'se Cabur here, back with another LEGO Star Wars set review. This time we have set number 75100, the First Order Snowspeeder. Before we take a look at the set, let's take a look at the box. So here's the box. It's a box. There's a picture on the front, pictures on the back, warnings, don't eat the pieces, don't have an alfalfa, so on and so forth. That's about it for the box. The build was quite interesting. Used some interesting techniques which we tend to not see a lot with LEGO, which is good. You know, some studs got on top here, things like that. Nice Technic build as well, so that's always nice. Knock the helmet off. In addition, there was a large amount of spare pieces with this set, which was nice. Out of the first bag, we have a whole bunch of them here. A nice white lightsaber piece, one of the printed tile pieces for the back of the Snowtroopers, and one of these neck collar bits. They're always quite nice to get. Out of bag 2, we had, not as many this time, a black lightsaber hilt, a couple more Technic pieces, and another red stud. Once again, you know, some nice pieces to get more of. Out of the third bag, we had yet another one of those white tile pieces, and a neck bit. Just a 1x1 stud plate, a couple of more Technic bits. And out of the fourth bag, we had a nice veritable bundle of pieces. 3 cheese slopes, one in black, one in grey, and one in white. White tile, a green stud, and that's about it. Now onto the set. It's a pretty solid set. It's larger than I thought it would be, but it's still pretty solid. So, after knocking bits and pieces off it, how about we take a look at some of the pros and some of the cons. And as usual, we'll start with the pros. So, pros are, it's quite a large set. It's fairly good for the money, which is I think around about 65 Australian dollars. And it's a fairly good price. Nice large set. It's one of the more value for money sets out of the Force Awakens range. And if you've seen my video last week on the pricings, you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say they're overpriced. So pros, consistent colour scheme. It's grey, light grey, bluish dark grey, and black, with elements of white. Also green highlights, but they're just for the stud features. And that is literally the entire colour scheme of the model, apart from this one bit of brown axle on the back here, and of course all the Technic pieces on the bottom. And that leads into our next pro, Technic build. It's nice and interesting. Third pro is the playability. There are many features packed into this set. First and most obvious one, it's on wheels, as I showed you just before. You can move around, you can whoosh it around as if you're playing with it. That's pretty fantastic, and as you can see me doing, knocking off the miniatures. The next play feature, we've got these flaps which are on both sides, and I'm assuming they're meant to act as air brakes, and they just open. Nice little play features. And then of course the big one, which is pretty obvious, these cannons. They're on both sides of the vehicle where the engine intakes are supposed to be, and they are the Stud 6 shooters introduced in Bionicle in 2015. And of course they fire, you turn the back of it here and they'll fire, like so. And this is a really great feature. Kids have a lot of fun with this. I have a lot of fun with this. Firing also these green studs everywhere. Another pro of the set is, of course, they do provide you with a whole load of extra green studs because you will lose them. I just lost one in firing it then. Speaking of the other studs, there's the next play feature, which are these boxes of crates up in here. And there's 3 of them, they're all exactly the same, and inside there is 4 little green studs, as so. In addition, there's an extra 2 studs stored next to the next feature of the set, which is the forward-facing turret gun. Minifig stands here, and I'll remove him just for showing this one, and of course the gun. Gun moves back and forth on its little hinge, and of course it has a firing mechanism here, which works well provided you're not using it one-handed, and it just fires like that. And then of course these clip right back in up here. That pretty much sums it up for the pros. Oh, sorry, one more thing. The weapons all have a place to go, for all 3 minifigs included. which of course is another pros of the 3 minifigs, but we'll get to those slightly later. As for the cons, there's not really a lot, really. A lot of people don't like the grey colour scheme, people don't like that colour. Personally, I don't think it's much of an issue, I do like that colour scheme. The only other major con would be that when it's on the ground there's this huge gap here, and the underside's very open, like there's not much to it, it looks very messy. But apart from that, that's pretty much the set. So that is the Snowspeeder. It's a solid set, nice build, and yeah, it's all round good vehicle. Now onto the minifigs. First up we have the First Order Officer, and I think in universe I think this is meant to be a captain. Oh, I could be wrong there, could be a squad sergeant. So let's have a look. It comes with this nice weapon which is custom. It's pretty much literally is just a pistol with a lightsaber hilt attached on the front. It comes with beautiful printing on the front and on the back underneath this tile piece. Although you can't really see it very much, it's just on the edges there. Speaking of the tile piece, it's a beautiful little printed tile piece which is fantastic. And here we have the shoulder pad which is nice, and these fabric kama, or a belt cape. Technically they're actually called kamas. And that is really nice to get fabric pieces. The helmet's very nicely printed and is printed on the back, which is something that is I think new for minifigures, instead of printing on the backs of helmets. If you look at any Clone Wars figure before, I think, late 2015, none of them had any printing on the back of the heads, even if it would be highly appropriate. And so now moving on to the other minifigures, they're exactly the same as the Sergeant, except they lack the shoulder pauldron, and they have a regular blaster instead of his custom blaster. Printing on the front and back, printing all the way around the helmet. And the face on all of them is of course Angry Clone, which is a bit sad, but it is what it is. I mean, come on, who's going to be taking off these awesome helmets anyway? And that about sums it up for the set. Now, one thing I forgot to mention earlier is this set contains a lot of stickers, and that's actually quite a big thing. If you've been in the LEGO community at all, I have yet to find anybody at all who likes stickers. Stickers are a pain, and there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them on just this side of the set. Then there is, of course, another 5 on the other side. Although this tile piece here is printed, which is nice. One other thing I forgot to mention is these chair assemblies. They're very innovative and unique, and that's really cool to see from LEGO. And that about sums it up for the set. It's pretty cool, with some nice minifigures, a nice build, and generally a pretty good price. $65. Perhaps an extra minifigure would have been nice, but this is still the cheapest. Sorry, not the cheapest. Still one of the better ways to buy these minifigs. And just before we go, I'm actually going to give a quick comparison to the Snowspeeder microfighter, which I do happen to have on hand just here. So just the fighters themselves, the Snowspeeder and the microfighter. And I have to say, the microfighter does an exceptional job of portraying the Snowspeeder, and in the same way they do look like the same vehicle. Same elements, they look fairly similar, apart from of course the, I guess, chibi size of the microfighter. And there we have it for the set. So let me know in the comments what you think of on the set, and what you thought of my review, what I can do better next time. And of course, drop a like, comment, rate and subscribe. It helps me to keep the channel going, it helps me bring out better quality videos each week. And as always, this is Gett'se Cabur, signing off.